Hello everyone. This is Kristen with Intentionally Nourishing. And today I want to talk about essential oils. Again, some of you might be cringing because you've heard that term so much, and others of you are cheering. But I just want to just straight up talk about what essential oils are. So I know that essential oils seem to be this buzzword and it's this trendy new thing, but in all reality, essential oils have been used for thousands of years. So we found recipes in hieroglyphics. With the Egyptians, essential oils are mentioned hundreds of times in the Bible, even with specific recipes of how to combine different oils for different purposes. So, again, it's nothing new. I mean, when God created, man and woman, he didn't put them in a house, he put them in a garden. And he did that because plants contain essential oils, which, they use for a lot of different purposes, which I'll share today. But because these oils that have been used in the plant are experienced, those experiences can then be applied to people. And so you can get very similar effects in people as what the plant gets from essential oils, which is really awesome. So, what an essential oil is, essential oils are produced through a distillation process by crushing the plant parts. So the leaves, the bark, the branches, the petals, anything like that. And so those parts are crushed and heated and at the right temperature and pressure. And then what is collected are the oils, and what's remaining is the water portion of the plant. As plants are full of a lot of water. They don't have bones, so water is their structure, but floating around and working through the water are essential oils. There are different amounts of essential oils in different plants and in different plant parts. So as we get more into, specific essential oils, you'll find that, when purchasing them, they cost different amounts. And the price of an essential oil is based upon how readily available it is in that particular plant. So for example, a lemon peel has tons of oils. I mean, you smell those oils when you peel a lemon. Rose petal, not as many essential oils, even though it's very fragrant. So rose is far more expensive than lemon. With essential oils, just to give you just some of the basics, and I am going to use some notes today just because they're so complex and so cool. And I've been studying the chemistry of essential oils, just the science in me wants to understand more about how they work and what they do. So I'll just share some of what I'm learning with you guys. So the difference between an essential oil and like a fatty oil, like a olive oil, coconut oil, there's some main differences. So essential oils, like I said, come from the plant parts. A fatty oil comes from the seed. And a fatty oil is only there for reproduction. So think of the fatty oil as you would an egg yolk. The yolk is there for the growing embryo of a bird to have the nutrients it needs to grow and develop before it hatches. Well, the same thing in a fatty oil in the seed. Before a plant is fully grown, it can't perform photosynthesis. So those fatty oils in the seeds of olive plants or coconuts, those oils are there to help a little tiny seedling be able to grow and produce and get to the size it needs to make its own food. The other thing about essential oils, some differences are that essential oils are essential to every process happening in the plant, whereas again, fatty oils are only there for reproduction. Essential oils are teeny tiny molecules that can access every single one of your cells. They can go through cell walls, they can go through cell membranes, whereas the fatty oils, or carrier oils, like we like to call them, are huge molecules. And so those cannot penetrate through your cells. When we consume those fats in our body, we have things like bile that break those big molecules into smaller ones that can then be absorbed. But on their own, they can't. Some other things, essential oils are not greasy to the touch. So if you got a drop, it feels very watery, whereas we know that olive oil and coconut oil are very greasy to the touch. And essential oils do not spoil, which is amazing. So they found oils in King Tut's tomb that were still intact. The key thing in keeping the integrity of your oils is the type of container you store them in. So, a dark colored glass, or, probably back then they stored them in some type of stone container. So you just don't want clear containers that can expose them to sunlight and break down. Fatty oils can go rancid. You probably heard that you can only keep your oils for so long. Nuts can go rancid. Even wheat goes rancid, like whole wheat. If you've had flour that's been bagged and milled, anything that's oily like that, any of those seeds that are ground up can go rancid and go bad. And the other thing is that essential oils have antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral properties that the plant uses every day. And fatty oils do not have those. So that's just some of the smaller differences between essential oils and oils that we use for cooking and for products and things like that. So that's just to give you a little basis there. So today I'm just going to kind of give you some things about, again, what essential oils do in plants. So I'm not speaking on behalf of any type of oil or any type of plant, but just in general, what have essential oils been found to do in plants? And it kind of blows my mind. So again, I'm grabbing my little notes here. So the first thing is that essential oils aid in metabolism and the nourishment of the plant. And so what I mean by that is they help oxygen get into the plant cells. They help waste get out of the plant cells. They help plants to access the nutrients that they're consuming. And they also help to clean off your cells. So they make the cell, they clean off any like the corrosion and the crud that, that our body just gets exposed to over time to allow things to happen faster. So allow oxygen and waste and nutrients and things like that to move through your cell quicker. They also increase the ability of your body to absorb vitamins and minerals. So I mentioned yesterday that we use Young Living. Well, Young Living has a whole supplement line, and all of their supplements contain essential oils because it's been found that when you combine essential oils and vitamins together, you actually absorb way more than you do with vitamins by themselves. That's why a lot of times after you take your vitamins, you might notice that your pee is a very eccentric yellow color, and that's because you've excreted out a lot of the vitamins that you've taken. So a lot of us are spending a lot of money on vitamins that we may actually not be getting a whole lot from, which is unfortunate. Number 2, they help to regulate plant function. So essential oils can act similarly to hormones. So what a hormone is in our body is just a chemical messenger. Our cells can't audibly talk to each other. So they use chemical signals to, encourage healing or encourage digestion, whatever it is. All those body processes are all run by hormones and chemical signals in the body. So as I mentioned, essential oils are amazing cleaners. So because they have to think of like an antenna has to pick up the communication, take it to your TV, we have these receptor sites that are receiving these chemical messengers, and those can get gunked up. And so essential oils are really great for keeping those receptor sites clean so that things can happen faster and more efficiently. Plants and any living thing is always working towards what we call homeostasis, which is a big fancy word for being balanced. So what's so cool about essential oils is they may work totally different in 2 different plants. Maybe one plant is fighting bad bacteria. So the essential oils are helping to rid or kill off bad bacteria. But in another plant, that same exact essential oil may be boosting the growth of another one. So they're really smart in terms of picking out what's bad from what's good. And we see the same thing in our own bodies with our immune cells, knowing what's a foreign invader and what's supposed to be there. So that's the second thing that essential oils are great for. The third thing is for protection. And again, we have protective cells in our body. Plants have essential oils. And so those essential oils are smart and they know what's not supposed to be there. So they have the ability to protect the plant from viruses, bacteria, fungus, those kinds of things that would harm and kill the plant. They also are able to repel insects and other pests that might try to eat and destroy the plant. And essential oils can even be distributed in the ground to keep other plants from growing too close to it and getting too crowded. So it really helps to create some balance there. Essential oils are way smarter. So you might say, well, how is essential oil different from an antibiotic? Doesn't an antibiotic kill bad bacteria? Well, an antibiotic can't distinguish good from bad. It just kills everything. So for a lot of people, myself included, people's systems just get destroyed after antibiotics. It says on the label, take yogurt, something like that after you've taken antibiotics. So essential oils, again, are targeting the bad things while allowing the good bacteria to survive and keeping that healthy balance of bacteria in your body. So that's kind of how they work there. And essential oils help to shield the plant from dehydration and heat. So they do a good job of preventing damage from UV rays, that kind of thing for the plant. And then on the opposite spectrum, they can amplify sunlight. So some plants that have fruit, like lemons and oranges and things like that, they might want the sunlight amplified to grow their fruit faster and to store more sugar for the plant. That's kind of what fruit is there for, is to store that sugar and those nutrients, which is why you don't want to put citrus oils on before you go in the sun. I always kind of wondered why is certain oils you're not supposed to put on before you go in the sunlight, but you don't want to put citrus on because citrus oils will amplify sunlight and would amplify burning. So you'd want to wait 12 hours before you applied a citrus oil of some kind. And then healing and repair. So, as soon as we have an injury, blood flows to that injury, and in there are platelets to stop the bleeding, and there is healing components that are released there. Same thing for a plant. If a plant is damaged, the tree, you see a tree root or the bark of the tree damaged, you'll see sap come out, and that's what that sap is, or that resin is, healing that wound, sealing that wound so that it doesn't allow infection to get in and kill the entire plant. And then, the last thing is just kind of the birds and the bees. Essential oils smell amazing. And so plants use essential oils to attract animals to pollinate that plant. And so essential oils can be used for aphrodisiac kind of purposes. And so, attracting a mate, smelling nice, so you can use them for perfume because the plants do. So those are just some of the basic things that a plant uses essential oils for. And again, because those essential oils are experienced and they've been used in the plants, those applications can also be applied to humans. And we can experience some of the similar effects to essential oils. So that's why, they're really popular. Again, I mentioned yesterday that there's a lot of toxic things out on the market and people are looking for alternatives. And there are, I think essential oils can provide for a lot of people really great alternatives to toxic man-made products. And a lot of things that are man-made are actually mimicking the real thing, which are essential oils. So I will go more into that, more into medications versus essential oils. And then my next video post I'm going to talk about is how do you choose a really quality essential oil, because you don't want to waste your money on a poor quality essential oil. So hopefully you found that helpful in just understanding what they do for us, what they do for plants, and we'll just keep getting more practical as we go along. So thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.